What's going on, everybody? Welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Kieran, and today I'm going to be doing a twin flame reading for the month of October. Okay, that's what month it is today. This month is October. Okay, I fucked that sentence up, but it's alright. We're gonna move past it. We're just gonna smooth over it. Today we're gonna be looking at the masculine energy, the feminine energy, and the head and the heart space for both you guys, and then a general sort of actions or outcome for this month of October. Okay, so I hope that this reading helps you guys out. Let me just get right into it. All right, cool. So let's take a look and see what's going on with the masculine energy. We'll start with them. So what's going on with the masculine spirit? What's going on with these guys? Let's see with these masculines. It's always the masculines' fault, right? Always the masculines. All right, well, let's take a look, see what's going on with them. So what is the masculine's energy like at this time? Let's take a look. I hope one of these cards falls to the floor, guys. I'm going to lose my temper. All right, first card is we have the Queen of Wands. So upright, Queen of Wands talks about character of going after their creative, right? The creative side of themselves. This is, of course, the feminine energy, right? Masculines getting in touch with their creative side again, getting in touch with their feminine side, trying to create, trying to take charge of their creation, take charge of working for themselves, take charge of their empowerment, take charge of where they want to work, right? So they have this idea, this passion, this new involvement with getting together a career, getting together money, putting their passion where they need to put it, so to speak, okay? I always think of this card as like Beyonce, something like that. I'm not a particular fan of Beyonce, but it makes sense that kind of energy, right? So they're trying to get into that energy. They're experiencing a little bit of that energy. To what degree, of course, is up to the individual, but they have this Queen of Wands energy. And of course, it could also mean that they're thinking about their Queen of Wands as well, which could be the feminine, right? Or could be anybody, right? Could be the grocery clerk at the store. I don't know, but whatever they're into, they could be thinking about a feminine influence as well. But generally speaking, it also does talk about their creative side coming out at this time. Okay. What else can we get for the masculine energy during this time, this month of October? Sort of read it like a story. So maybe the Queen of Wands would be kind of where they're at now. Yeah, we have the Eight of Wands here to talk about fast communication, fast travel. This is them being in an energy of trying to get a lot of stuff done very quickly, trying to charge ahead to to where they need to be, to where they need to go at this time. Eight of Wands is always like a very fast-paced kind of communicative energy. So this is saying that they have this sort of vision and this goal, and they're trying to take charge of many things in their life at this time. They're trying to move forward with some element of gusto, with some real power behind themselves. Okay, like this horse here, which I'm going to call Henry. Henry the horse here is charging very quickly towards his destination, right? So the masculines have that same kind of attitude, trying to get where they need to go, trying to travel. They could be traveling, right? But they could be in this energy of really trying to get where they need to go and trying to get there quickly because they're not happy with where they're at, right? The Eight of Wands is strong position to move forward. Okay, so their energy is getting more filled with passion, more filled with creativity, possibly starting to get out of some of that negative energy that I've seen them in the past. Okay, yeah, we have another Wands card. So we have the Ace of Wands. So this is sexual passion. This is the energy of new beginnings. This is the passion being illuminated. So these three Wand cards really do talk about the amount of passion that's going through the masculine's life right now. The creation, the life force, the very essence of who they are, they're becoming lighter in vibration. Okay, so this means pursuing the things they want to. If they're a writer, if they make music, if they make pornography, whatever it is that they're doing that they're really passionate about, they're doing more of it. So they're getting into that energy of creation, of expansion. And the Ace of Wands, Eight of Wands, traveling. So a couple of masculines, more than literally two, are going to end up traveling in certain directions, okay? Maybe for work. Ace of Wands is a creative project, work project, right? So a lot of them are in this mindset of not just career-oriented, because that would be Pentacles, and they're not obsessed with the money, they're obsessed with what they're supposed to be doing. And I don't know if obsessed is the right word. I'm obsessed about cinnamon-flavored Pop-Tarts, but I think this is more of a real passion towards what it is they're trying to do. So they're getting in this real spiritual kind of energy of what it is that they're trying to accomplish here on Earth. Okay, and that's great. That's great news for the masculines, because it means that they're feeling better about themselves and about their life. So they're getting more energy, which is great. So why don't we take a little step over to the feminines, all right? Presumably most of you who are watching, and we'll take a look and see what's going on with your energy at this time. So what's going on with the feminine energy spirit? How are they energetically feeling at this time? Okay, a card fell to the ground, guys. I told you I was going to lose my temper. I'm not going to lose my temper, though, because I am a good boy who's been taught by a very repressed woman on how to control their rage. So we have the Four of Cups. The Four of Cups talks about taking a break from emotions, okay? So this is, for the feminines, dealing with some internal stuff before they're ready to share anything. This is basically a privacy, okay? Keeping to themselves, keeping their emotions hidden, not wanting to expose anything, not wanting to go too far, wanting to kind of hold on to some of their cups, because there's probably been some heartbreaks and disappointments and some things that they're not really ready to share or that they would like to share at this time. So the Four of Cups is like kind of like a little break. Fours usually talk about breaks sometimes, but Four of Swords, Four of Cups, Four of Pentacles, those three cards, not the greatest in the tarot deck, but the Four of Cups, again, taking a break from their emotions at this time. So if they're taking a break from their emotions, we have this Knight of Swords, so they're more in their head at this time, energetically speaking anyway. So this is stress, communication, kind of mirroring the Eight of Wands energy slightly, or maybe not mirroring is the right way, but the right word, but certainly a little bit of a synchronicity there. The Knight of Swords talks about moving very quickly, so when their energy is feeling stressed, feeling there's a lot to accomplish, feeling like there's a lot to do, a lot of thoughts going around their head. So it's like an action, kind of a planning, so it's like making a lot of plans with your mind, with your logical side, and trying to act upon those things, okay? So it's almost like keeping themselves busy, trying to forget about a lot of stuff, trying to do what they can, and, you know, trying to rush through whatever part of their life that they're in. So you guys might be experiencing some hectic sides of life. You might be moving around a lot, just trying to keep yourself busy, trying to keep yourself occupied. Again, moving away from the emotional aspects of yourself in favor of keeping yourself busy, okay? And because we have this Moon card, which is about intuition, trying to trust your intuition, not knowing what's going ahead. So your intuition may be telling you something, and you're trying to trust it, but there's nothing you can really do about it. So again, you might be ignoring your emotions in favor of your logical self right now, in favor of just getting things done, keeping busy, work, career, things like that. But the Moon card talks about being in this energy where you guys are uncertain of the future and not exactly clear about anything at this time, and so you're kind of navigating, much like this owl is navigating through the darkness with the moon illuminating the dreams and any other kinds of aspects around that, right? So dream work's important with the Moon card as well, but it's always about intuition, honing that intuition, trying to use the moon to guide you through the darkness, right? So the owl using a representation of the intuition. The owl, I think, usually represents intuition and homosexuality. I'm not entirely sure. Anyway, that last one was a joke, all right, guys? Anyway, so try not to unfollow me and hate me, because that sucks. Okay, guys. So the Moon card is so it's about intuition. Okay, you have to trust your intuition at this time, feminines. Trusting that you know where you're going in life. Maybe you're not too certain because you can't feel your emotions, because you're a little bit cut off. But the Moon card is a longer period of energy, but it is temporary. It does mean that there's a next phase. This is a phase where you would be trying to hone in what it is that you've been trying to see. You're really trying to be clear about what voice is your intuition and what voice is fear, okay? And inevitably there's a breaking point between the two, and you have to find out which one's which, okay? So that being said, you guys are more in this energy of trying to navigate a path by keeping busy, whereas the masculines are on a path now, and they are very busy as well, but they're creative and passionate about life right now, so they're trying to put their energy towards things that really matter. And you guys are trying to figure some things out. Keep yourself busy, okay? So that's where you guys are at. And so I want to move these cards away just for a bit, and I want to take a look and see if I can get you guys some head and some heart space, all right? So what is going on with the masculine's headspace? How are they thinking about their feminines at this time? Okay, so we have the Ten of Wands. So feeling an obligation, maybe in some ways a burden, but feeling this, thinking about you guys like as if there's a responsibility, there's something that they owe you, right, or that you owe each other. So it's a connection, 10, October completion, but the Ten of Wands, I don't know why it's a snail, to be honest, because usually Ten of Wands is having a lot of things that you have to carry, right, and snails, they're not known as a carrying sort of animal. But anyway, I didn't make the tarot deck. If I did, all the animals would have been dead pigeons, but I didn't, and it's a snail. But for whatever reason, it's there. But it does talk about this burden, this responsibility, this obligation towards something. So feeling like they have you, they're heavy in their thoughts. Very, very heavy, the masculines are thinking about you if it's the Ten of Wands. Almost as well with this completion energy of something that, you know, needs to be completed, needs to be thought about. So there is this obligation towards you guys as the feminines. What else have we got for the masculines thinking about them? We have the Six of Swords, so moving away from negativity. Any negative emotions or periods that you guys have shared, I think that the masculines are trying to move away from that. You have a flying squirrel. I think it's a flying squirrel. And what I know about flying squirrels, which is next to nothing, I know more about the mating habits of capybara than I do flying squirrels, but flying squirrels presumably glide across quite quickly to where they need to go. So Six of Swords is about moving on from something, so the flying squirrel here representing a moving on period of gliding away from some negativity, right? These swords, navigating through the negativity, what these swords represent, this mental body, and moving past them. Okay, so they're trying to move past negativity. They're trying to move past the negative thoughts about you, about themselves, about the relationship, about the future. They're just trying to generally move away from negativity, just in general. Okay, said general twice there. That's not great. My father would be, he would abhor me for that. So, lastly, for the headspace for the masculines, we have the Devil card. Okay, this is definitely a bobcat who slaughtered. It looks like he slaughtered that bunny. This card's fucking ridiculous. So this is not a pretty image, right? The Devil card talks about codependency issues, stuff like that. So the masculines right now, if this is, you know, viewing you in a mental way, a mental space, this talks about some of the addictions that the masculines have, some of the problems and attitudes that have caused them to cause this negativity. So I think that there is also this, you know, this very sexual attraction as well. But there's this codependent type of relationship, and maybe it exists somewhat in your specific twin flame dynamic, but it's this idea of I need you, you need me. Maybe that's not so much the case, nor should it be. It should be about I want you, you want me, right? So it's removing the codependencies within themselves. So maybe some of their mental space is still kind of focused on where their attachments are, maybe in regards to you and in regards in their own life. They might be navigating through their own devil-like energy in their own life, trying really, really hard to move away from that. And you know, that's kind of on their mind, that's weighing them down. And it might be one of the reasons why they might be lagging behind, okay? Because you can see these kind of traps there. I know that neither one of them was caught in the trap, but it's supposed to symbolize a feeling trapped, okay? So the masculines might feel trapped in their circumstances and stuff like that, and that's again where they're trying to move on to the Six of Swords. And they might even be feeling trapped within this relationship because they don't have a lot of feeling of wiggle room, a lot of freedom within the relationship, because maybe it's, you know, twin flame relationships, when you really get attached to the label and you start reading about it, it has a whole lot of information about what's going to happen, what you should do, all these opinions, everything. It doesn't make you feel free. Right? It doesn't make you feel free. So it's a hard thing for some people to really accept all at once, okay? Especially when there's devil-like codependency attachments getting in the way of something that would be soulful and beautiful, okay? So why don't we take a look and see how the feminines, you are thinking about your masculines at this time. How are the feminines thinking about their masculines? We have the Four of Pentacles. So, you know, since this is a pentacle card, but it is earth energy here, you can see this little squirrel saving these pentacles, presumably for the future. Next time it goes to a little squirrel strip club. And so the Four of Pentacles in the headspace here, trying to, probably seeing your masculines as someone who, or trying to sort of save them, trying to hold on to them, trying to hold on to this relationship, because the Four of Pentacles, it's about bearing, right? It's about holding on to things, sometimes a little bit too much, sometimes about being greedy. But holy shit, that card just flew out of my hands. My God. I'm gonna pick it up. I didn't even mean to pull it, but I'm pulling this one. Trying to hold on to your trying to hold on to your masculine, right? And so you're trying to hold on to the relationship. That makes sense. You have him presumably in your thoughts. Okay. Knight of Cups is this is the card that came flying out. Okay, the Knight of Cups is about proposals. I think this is I honestly don't know. It could be a pelican. It could be a fucking seagull with a problem. I have no idea what bird this is, but I only know that this bird is fucking weird looking. It's the only thing I know. But I do know the definition, and the Knight of Cups here coming in as thinking about your masculine in an emotional way, thinking them as an emotional figure, an emotional offering. You could be wanting some emotions back from them. You could be wanting some proposals. You could be wanting some of those more committed things. You might want them to show up a little bit, but you could also be just thinking of them as somebody who is connected to their emotions. This cup, big cup spilled over here. No water's coming out of it, of course, or that's in it, but it does talk about this kind of a big offer. But sometimes the cup can be a little bit empty or emptier than you thought, because the Knight of Cups sometimes come in as somebody who isn't really fully ready to commit yet, okay? And then finally, we have the Five of Wands. So there may be some conflict, some competition that you guys are afraid of within your twin flame relationship. So maybe there's some jealousy issues. Maybe you're worried about them having sex, cheating on you, I don't know, buying a fleshlight. But whatever it is specifically, you guys are finding maybe a little bit of an energy within your twin flame relationship right now of combativeness, feeling like you have to be on guard like this badger, okay? Billy the Badger. All these animals, by the way, are all going to be alliterated, so just hope you know that. And so this badger here, Billy, is a little bit on edge because people are apparently trying to beat the shit out of him with sticks. Okay, some villagers found him in the village, and they're gonna fuck him up, right? And so you guys might be feeling a little bit like, oh, I don't know, feeling like arguments are on the horizon. You don't want to argue with them. Maybe there's some tension in your relationship at this time, but whatever the reason. It's perfectly natural, perfectly normal, and that is, right, the Five of Wands kind of, you might not want to have to deal with that, so you might be holding that in as well, okay? But yeah, Devil energy for them, Five of Wands for you. So a little bit of combated energy going on here, which is maybe some part of the problems for your mental space, okay? So let's move on to the heart space. See if I can get there quickly. Try to make these videos shorter than longer, because I know that nobody has attention spans these days, but hopefully you guys still enjoy it. All right, take a look at the heart space. How are the masculines feeling about their feminines at this time? What's going on inside their heart space? Okay, we have the Chariot card, Killer Whale. Okay, I guess this would be Kyle, the Killer Whale. Kyle here, which is an awful name. He is heading in a new direction. Okay, so this is feeling. So when it comes to the Chariot card within your emotional world, the masculines here would be feeling a surge of feeling, a surge of something, right? This killer whale is bursting through the waters, right? So it's this powerful explosion, right, of it trying to head somewhere, right? Trying to go. It's a momentum, a forward momentum. So their emotions are headed in a very powerful direction. They're exploding at this time. They're feeling quite a lot of love for you, probably in a new way that they didn't think that they could have felt before. Okay, yeah, we have the Lover's card. Okay, so twin flame relationships, soulmate. This is about the choices that they have to make. The two swans here. I don't have names for these guys. That's a lot of work to name two animals. I don't know if I can do that. But let's just assume that these monogamous animals right here have names, and these two are together. It's a choice. It's a crossroads. It's love. It's deep love. It's about choosing whether to go down that road to make a full commitment to something. So inside their heart space, they're feeling the commitment. They're feeling the obligation, like they were in their mental state, to make that commitment, to really truly honor it the best that they can. Okay. And then finally, a caught this card before it fell. Stupid. And then finally we have the High Priestess. Right? It's a spider. I don't know what kind of spider, but let's say Sally. Let's make gender. Let's get some other genders in here. So we have Sally the spider, and Sally here. She's weaving her web. She's doing her thing. Because the High Priestess, which is a feminine figure, does involve a lot of intuition, right? You had the Moon card and the feminine's mental space. So in the heart space, you have kind of similar energy for the masculines. The masculines are trusting their intuition, trusting their heart, trying to follow what they know intuitively. But there's also some kinds of secrets and things being hidden, some things being kept, and they're not entirely sure how to really get that, get out of that kind of energy. So there's like some secrets, some things they don't know, and that's why their mental space and their heart space is slightly different, because they think one thing, but their heart, of course, is telling them another. And the High Priestess energy is trying to tell them, yes, you have a choice to make. You have to commit to something. There's this explosion of emotions, but in order to commit, you really need to know what you're committing to, and that's what some of the blockages are there. And it's a mental. The High Priestess, it doesn't want you to know what you're not supposed to know at the time. So it's sort of like they can't really help it, right? But their emotions, there might be a little bit of a block in their emotional space, and maybe that's why the commitment fully hasn't come in, because they don't know if they can trust themselves. Okay, they just don't. They don't know if they can trust their heart. Okay, so why don't we get some feminine energy going in here for the heart space? How are the feminines feeling about their masculines at this time? Okay, we have the Queen of Cups. So you guys, I'm going to go ahead and say that you guys are the Queen of Cups here. This Moose, May the Moose. Moosey Moose here is Queen of Cups, and the Queen of Cups is a female figure generally who is very in touch with her emotions and intuitive, and does have a lot to give. Okay, she's literally, and this is true. Moose can do this. Mooses can do this. I always want to call them meese. English language is funny, but this moose and moose can actually swim underwater like that. I've seen it in real life, which isn't true. That's a lie. I've never seen it, but I do know they can do this. And so, being surrounded by your emotions, being surrounded by water, right? So, you guys, the feminines here, are surrounded by your emotions. So right now, when it comes to thinking or how you're feeling about your masculine, you're I don't know, you're surrounded by a lot of water. You could be crying, you could be going through something, you could be thinking, just feeling a lot of emotions right now towards them. Okay, so I'm very emotional at this time towards your masculine, feeling that connection, feeling that pull. Okay, we have the Three of Wands. So some of you are still waiting, but you're maybe sure of that it's a sure thing. Okay, because the Three of Wands talks about it is kind of like action and adventure as a card. So there is some element of travel, but mostly it's kind of like waiting for things to get going. It's like booking a plane ticket, and I've said this many times. I hope that I come up with another analogy at some point, but it's like booking a plane ticket, and you have your bags packed, and you're just ready to go. Okay, you're ready to keep going, ready to move on. So you guys are still waiting, but there's this energy of, okay, well, I know that something's coming in. I know that that this event is going to happen. I'm just trying to hold on and spend my time wisely during this time. Okay, and then we have finally. Oh my God, that card fell so far, guys. It's all right. I managed to get it. I think I should get like a little trap. Like a little net down there or something, or just shuffle them differently. But who wants to learn how to shuffle? All right, so we have the Hangman for the feminine. So you guys are waiting, in a period of waiting, separation. So many, maybe the ones I'm reading for you, are in separation with your masculine. But this is feeling that, like you have to wait, like there's a waiting period going on. And so, you have to make do with the time that you have, just kind of like the Three of Wands. So it's a sort of limbo phase. But you guys, like this ant here, are actually creating something, birthing something new. So it could be a new part of yourself, a new part of your own life. But the Hangman does talk about being suspended to some degree while you're nurturing or creating something. And usually it talks about a sacrifice. So while the time is maybe mentally you feel like you're wasting or something's being stuck, you're actually creating a new part of yourself at the same time, okay? And it could be an external thing as well, like projects and things of that nature, okay? So let's move on to finally the outcome for masculines and the feminines, and this is just the month of October, okay? So please don't get too much of your hopes up if it turns out being negative. And certainly don't go overboard if it turns out being positive, okay? Keep a neutral attitude at all times, and you will be one happy little camper. More than likely. All right, so let's take a look and see. So, dear Spirit, what actions or what's the outcome for the masculine and feminines I'm reading for the month of October? Let's get 3 or 4 cards. Okay, we have the Four of Wands. That's perfect because that's normally what, I guess, if you had to consider any card a twin flame card, it would be the Four of Wands, kind of like 1111. I don't know where I first heard that, or I don't even know if it's technically true, to be honest. But it's a good sign of a twin flame relationship, and it's a great card because it means wedding and unions and celebrations. It means coming together. It's a harmony. It's home. It's a happy creation. It's a creative period of love and romance and connection. Okay, so the Four of Wands talks about a reunion of some kind coming in here for the feminines and masculines this month. But let's see if I can get some. Yeah, we have the Two of Wands. You had the 3 up there in your guys' heart space. So now we have the Two of Wands, which is planning. So coming together for planning, it's more wands cards. A lot of wands came out in this this reading, right? Two of Wands, slower energy, yeah, but coming after the Four of Wands, like reunion, celebration, coming together. And then the Two of Wands talks about planning for the future. So, okay, you guys come together, but you need to make some strategic plans about how this is going to work, what's going to happen, how you're going to do it, right? We have the Fool card, so new beginnings, clean slate, fresh energy, taking a leap of faith, going somewhere. This is a beautiful, beautiful energy to get, and it means that some of the past problems, like the Six of Swords that the masculines had, I think, I already forgot. The Fool, of course, talks about moving on from all that period, right? That negativity. It's fresh. The sun is shining. The grasshopper, Gary the grasshopper here, has moved forward. Right, he's taken this leap of faith. So it's a new, fresh journey. Major Arcana means that there's new, beautiful energy coming in. And finally, we have, oh my God. I'm not even going to complain about it anymore. I'm going to just do it, and you guys are going to watch. All right, that's way too far, guys. I'm not doing that shit. All right, get another one. All right, so yeah, what else? Outcome for... Yeah, okay, so that's actually kind of the same card. We have the Hermit card, okay, so wisdom. So you have two images here with the suns coming out, right? So this is the Hermit card, so maybe a period of separation is coming to an end. Usually this talks about being separated, being isolated, but because it's coming after the Four of Wands, Two of Wands, and the Fool, it makes me think more like there's been some wisdom that's been attained because of some of the separation, however brief it might have been. So there's some light and some illumination that this praying mantis in this case would have gotten from its time in isolation. Okay, so 2 sun cards, 2 cards with the sun coming out here, very beautiful, more wand energy. So for the month of October, it looks like many masculines and feminines are starting over to some degree with new wisdom, with a plan in mind, with some kind of union coming together. Okay, so that wraps up today's readings. I hope that you guys enjoyed it. I'm going to leave my Instagram and any of the information and stuff that I usually do, personal readings. I'll leave that in my description box and maybe the comments, just in case you guys are interested. But otherwise, I've got nothing else for you guys today. I'm happy that I was able to do this reading, and thank you guys so much for watching, commenting, disliking, and just generally being alive. All right, guys, we'll talk to you guys soon, and have a great rest of whatever day it is today.